AIPAC, gloating about bribing 362 politicians as they cheer Trump. Here's the video.
It's the infusion of foreign affairs that's taking the 2024 race into an entirely new phase.
I'm a firm believer that no candidate wins an election on their own.
What I love about AIPAC is that they get behind people and they win.
AIPAC comes in and it's like someone threw you a life raft.
This week, the group secured its first major victory of the election season. Fresh off of that victory, AIPAC has already set sights on its next target.
Well, you know what we got to say to AIPAC? Bring it on!
The results are in. George Latimer defeats incumbent Jamal Bowman.
Incumbent Republican Bob Good has been defeated by challenger State Senator John McGuire.
Okay. They got a lot of money. They paid a lot of money. And they bought a lot of elections, harmed really good people in the process because they dared to stand up against, well, genocide, murder. All right. On social media, on the social media account yesterday, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee posted that video, okay? Following the 2024 election, in the caption, AIPAC endorsed 362 candidates and won in every primary. We had a candidate on the ballot. We helped our friends win and defeated 11 anti-Israel candidates, being pro-Israel. It's good policy and good politics, end quote. Keep that post up. You know what got underreported when college students decided to walk out of class in protest of their American government supporting a killer leading Israel? Jewish groups, Jewish student groups were marching, protesting with pro-Palestinian groups. That was all over the map. I'm a college professor, saw it firsthand, Emory University and beyond. Underreported. Why? Because they needed a narrative, ladies and gentlemen. They needed to be able to say things anti-Semitic, anti-Israel. Wait a minute, but these are Israelis. So, and according to the last survey, you all didn't want Netanyahu there anyway. The vast majority of you all don't trust the guy. He lost power. It was a brokered co-presidency, basically, until, well, in the case of military. And all of the killing of children and women and the elderly and those who are pregnant, non-combat individuals, they're not Hamas. And as I've said before, the excuse of, well, Hamas is hiding among the Palestinians. You would not indiscriminately kill Israelis if Hamas was hiding in Israel. Right, because you value the lives of one, but not the lives of all. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his supporters celebrated Donald Trump, his victory, hailing what a leader of the Israeli settler movement called an ally who would support them unconditionally. Congratulating Republican Trump, Netanyahu said the former president had made, quote, history's greatest comeback Your historic return to the White House offers a new beginning for America and a powerful recommitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. He said in a statement, which was echoed by leaders of the hard right nationalist religious parties in his coalition. It's amazing how the tables turned. I remember a few years ago, I was right here on Indisputable, talking with my Jewish friends, bringing them on the program, advocating for them, because white supremacists, Kanye West, and others were spewing bigotry toward them. And I was an advocate, obviously, against the bigotry and for their humanity. But then when the shift of becoming an advocate for those who are being killed in Gaza, somehow, and obviously not all and really not even most, but somehow some of the gatekeeping Israeli leadership say, oh, no, 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 if you're for the Palestinians, you're anti-Israel, but you guys are not at war with them. All right, the outcome is relief, obviously, for Netanyahu and his coalition, which has clashed with Biden's Democratic administration. Truly, they did not clash enough, but they did clash over the conflicts in Gaza, Lebanon, that fueled protests worldwide, left Israel increasingly isolated internationally as the world watched the US election. All right. Current administration trusted Minister Gallant said Ephraim Sneh, the former brigadier general in the Israeli army, the removal of this individual in the middle of a multi-front war that threatens to escalate into a full-scale confrontation with Iran, drew protesters to the streets in Israel, but was welcomed by Netanyahu's camp. And remember when we covered the protests in Israel, once again, Israelis protesting against the Israeli government, Netanyahu. I had never seen that many protesters at one time. I mean, it was massive. All right, those are our brothers and sisters. Understand that, because they are our brothers and sisters in ideology, in humanity, in idea, right? So let's be very aware that generalization is never the answer. Nuance is always a reality. All right, Francesca, they waste no time, do they? Here we go.
No, they don't. It's incredible how cavalier they can be, how much they can celebrate the fact that they've taken Republican money and funneled it into defeating Democrats, specifically progressive Democrats. And this is the big problem with the Democratic Party. You know, it's bad enough that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were unwilling to break with giving Israel more and more weapons to, as you mentioned, murder children and continue to be murdering children. And we have another aid bill to block coming up, so everyone should stay tuned for that. But the real issue is the following, that it's taking money from AIPAC is a direct alignment with not just the right of Israel, but the right of this country as well. And that lays bare to all of the voters that you are not serious about actually defeating fascism. You're conditional about which fascism you will embrace. And so how can we take you seriously when you condemn Donald Trump's fascism, but embrace Bibi Netanyahu's fascism? In fact, give him more money and weapons with which to do said fascism on the people of Palestine. So that's number one. Number two, I just want to commend and name the courage of people like Representative Jamal Bowman and Representative Cory Bush, who, yes, were both unseated, but the way they went down, and AIPAC puts this clip up of Bowman being defiant, that doesn't make him look sad. That makes him look like a badass, because what they did and what people like Representative Richey and other people who take AIPAC money, or Jimmy Gomez, who just defeated my preferred candidate, David Kim, who is an actual progressive. Gomez took $1 million from AIPAC. What differentiates them is that one are cowards and are okay with killing children, and the other one stand on their word. The other ones have a moral center. Look, listen to this. Cori Bush does not have a big Jewish population in her district, right? She does not have a particular reason. And AIPAC loves to do that, right? They love to they pour in all this money, excuse me, and they trash a candidate, but it has nothing to do with Israel. So Cori Bush, she could have said, look, my district has nothing to do with Israel. So you know what? I'm just going to throw down with Israel. It's okay. I'll take AIPAC money. Look, my district, there's not a lot of Jewish Americans. So I'm going to throw the Palestine Solidarity Movement and the Progressive Jewish Movement under the bus here and, say mea culpa. She didn't do that because she's a real one, because she stood her ground for what is morally right, but also politically right, right? I mean, Netanyahu has wanted Trump to be elected. And so who has really been had here? It's Joe Biden. Joe Biden got so swindled by the government of Israel. And we can all, it's now laid bare for us to see we do need to dismantle AIPAC and get big money out of politics.
And to Trump's corrupt credit, he would have never went against 80% of his base, period. Biden went against 80% of the Democratic base. Yep. And that is the part of this whole scenario that's actually sacred. Once again, the voter that put you there. All right, bring you updates as they come.